Hi there, Sarah Madras here, founder of Esteem Builders Coaching, where I'm on a mission to ignite a cultural revolution that fulfills the human need for truthful connection and belonging. And I do this by helping businesses and organizations create resilient company culture. Now, today I'm going to be talking about generosity. Now, generosity is one of the key components in building trust within your teams, with customers, and in all kinds of relationships. So when I talk about generosity, the definition that I'm going to be using is really meaning to assume the best of a person's actions and intentions. And when you don't know, you check in and you ask. And this, for me, is the hardest of all the components of trust. It is my weakest spot because for me, I assume the worst in order to protect myself. I go through all the case scenarios of if I assume they're going to do this, then I'll respond this way, and so then I can handle it this way. And in rapid fire seconds, I can go through all these what ifs. If this happens, then I can do this. But the what ifs are always worst case scenarios, rather than me saying, what if something amazing happens? What if they say something awesome rather than something negative? And as humans, we do this as a way to protect ourselves so that we can be prepared and we feel more equipped, and then we feel less anxious, right? It's kind of our way. If we assume the worst, then we're armoring up for whatever can happen. And this can be really, really detrimental to work relationships, to teams, and even your relationships at home. And a great example of this has been happening, several examples have been happening in the last few weeks. And one was yesterday on the first day of school. So in our house, we have a new little adorable puppy. And in the morning, the first thing that our boys do when they wake up is they take the puppy outside to go to the bathroom. Well, yesterday morning was the first day of school. So the boys rushed into the room and were like, good morning, first day of school. And my husband said, did you let the dog out? And he go, or why didn't you let the dog out? And I said, they're so excited about first day of school, they wanted to come and tell us. So he unintentionally assumed the worst of they're not being responsible, they're slacking off on their jobs and things like that. And instead of doing what they were supposed to do, of letting the dog out first, they're coming in here and trying to avoid it. So that was a lack of generosity. Luckily, in our house, we have these terms and this knowledge. And so I said generosity. We kind of just use this keyword. Let's assume the best of their actions and intentions. Assume the best, that they're not, avoiding their responsibilities, or they're not disobeying what it is that they're supposed to be doing, that they're just so excited about the first day of school that they wanted to run in and say good morning to us first. Now, this giving people generosity and assuming the best of their intentions, it takes it from this road of, thinking bad things and an argument into this positive road of understanding and connection and feeling valued, right? Because in this situation, if we would have looked and automatically assumed they're trying to get out of their responsibilities, then that would have turned into a moment of, you know what you're supposed to do, you know what your job is, why are you slacking off, blah, blah, blah. That's a totally different conversation, right? Like that's a negative conversation, that's a negative interaction. Versus if we assume the best and say, oh, they're so excited to come in and tell us good morning on the first day, and then we can redirect them of, okay, hugs and kisses, can you go let the dog out? That's such a much more positive interaction of how we send them off to school on their first day, right? This happens everywhere in all kinds of human interactions, all kinds of relationships. At work, it can be, have you ever experienced where your boss doesn't give you generosity and they assume the worst of why did you miss that deadline? Or why did you make this mistake on this report? You're not dedicated. You're not focused. You're distracted by other things. When your boss assumes the worst of you and doesn't give you generosity, it makes you feel undervalued. It doesn't motivate you, it demotivates you. It says, hey, wait a minute. Why wouldn't they assume the best? What have I done that makes them think that I'm a slacker or they wouldn't think the best of me? Maybe I'm just having a hard time. Maybe something's going on at home, things like that. So whether it's in your personal relationships or your professional relationships, remember to grant generosity and assume the best of someone's intentions. And if you're not sure, ask them, hey, what did you mean by that? Hey, what happened that this deadline was missed? Hey, what's going on that, you said this and then this happened? So just check in first instead of making assumptions. It can make a world of difference in how you connect with people and how people feel valued. And when people feel connection and value, they're more motivated, they're more on top of their game, and that increases your bottom line. All right, thanks so much. As always, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me at the email address in the description. And if you'd like me to come in and do some of these workshops for your team and help your company build resilient culture, just contact me at sarahmadras.com. And as always, until next time, remember to build what you need.